We're getting some breaking news from the United States after Mamdani wins the New York City mayoral elections. Now, US President Donald Trump fumes. Trump's first reaction to Mamdani winning the New York City mayoral polls. Trump says Republicans lost because he wasn't in ballot. And in fact, he goes on to say that government shutdown is also a reason behind New York City mayoral poll loss. So that's the reaction from the US President Donald Trump, who was against Zohran Mamdani. In fact, he was backing Andrew Cuomo, who is the former governor, but the results are in favor of Mamdani. The New Yorkers have chosen Zohran Mamdani as their mayor, and after the victory of Mamdani, now Donald Trump has reacted to the victory, saying that Republicans lost because he wasn't in the ballot, and that government shutdown is also a reason behind New York City poll loss. So Zohran Mamdani has scripted history. He has become the youngest and first Muslim mayor of New York City, and it was a three-way race. He has defeated former Governor Andrew Cuomo, and now Donald Trump is fuming over Zohran Mamdani's victory. He has said that Republicans lost because he wasn't there in ballot, and that government shutdown is also a reason behind Zohran Mamdani's victory and Republicans' loss. India Today Global's Pranay Upadhyay is now joining us on the story. Pranay, Donald Trump is now fuming over the victory of Zohran Mamdani, which comes on expected lines, and he has in fact claimed that Republicans have lost this election because he wasn't there in the ballot.
President Donald Trump might have said whatever he wished to say, but if you see the political landscape of New York, it has always been a blue state, a blue province, and if you see, Democrats have won. The contest was majorly between Zohran Mamdani and Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo, the outgoing mayor of New York, was also from the Democratic Party, and he lost in the Democratic primary, and that's why he was contesting as an independent candidate. So clearly, this victory of Zohran Mamdani is on the expected line as far as the political spectrum is concerned. While on the other side, if you see why President Donald Trump is so against Zohran Mamdani, he actually signifies a shift in New York politics. That how he is the first Muslim elected mayor of New York. He's the first South Asian elected as the mayor of New York. He's very young, mayor of New York. So definitely all these things clearly shows that President Donald Trump, who lived in the city of New York, clearly feels that this shift is going to have its own impact in the forthcoming midterm elections of United States, which are only a few months away now. And President Donald Trump has already indicated that these victories could impact, and he want to rile up his own support base, and he want to tell them that they have to work hard, they have to gather the support and reflect it in terms of voting and ballot. Because if you see, not only in New York, if you see the results of New Jersey, where Cheryl won the governor position from the Democratic Party, the Republican Party candidate was heavily relying on President Donald Trump and his support, and which did not yield him the victory.
Absolutely. Pranay, thank you so much for all those details and for that context. So New Yorkers chose their next mayor. Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani has emerged as the winner in the three-way mayoral race. Zohran Mamdani has been elected as the first Muslim mayor of New York City. He is the son of Indian filmmaker Mira Nair and a 33-year-old Muslim of Indian heritage. Zohran Mamdani defeated his key challenger, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who ran as an independent after losing to Mamdani in Democratic primary. Running an insurgent campaign, the Democratic candidate has proposed ambitious left-wing policies, including freezing rents for nearly 1 million apartments, taxing the wealthy, and making the city's bus service free. J.J. Singh, of Indian origin, has been elected first Sikh in Virginia House of Delegates. Ghazala Hashmi has been elected Lieutenant Governor of Virginia and is the first Muslim woman in U.S. state office. Indian origin Cincinnati Mayor Aftab Pureval has secured a second term, defeating Republican rival Cory Bowman, and who is U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance's half-brother. It is also a huge setback for U.S. President Donald Trump, who had endorsed Cuomo, claiming New York would be a disaster if Mamdani wins. Trump even said any Jewish person voting for proven Jew hater was a stupid person. And my colleague Rohit Sharma is now joining us from Washington, D.C. Rohit's history has been scripted by Zohran Mamdani. What do you think really worked for him?
Yeah, I mean, look, a young guy who I remember he posted a picture of himself last year, 5 days after President Donald Trump won the election. He was standing on a intersection in the Brooklyn area, just holding a placard and a microphone, and started his campaign. Then nobody gave him a chance. He persisted. Last year, June, he got creative with his campaigning. He started making videos, including one in Hindi and using Bollywood dialogues, and was so so sincere in his campaign that he shocked everybody by defeating Andrew Cuomo, who's one of the leaders of the Democratic Party, by winning the primaries, forcing him out of the Democratic contention and making him an independent, and then going on to win this election on his what he's been calling a very socialist or democratic socialist platform, a son of Indian filmmaker Mira Nair, and and a Muslim. I think it's been only 24 years. In 9/11, after 9/11, if you look like a certain way, if you were brown and if you're of a different religion, you would look down and you were essentially looked with suspicion. But him winning tonight, is a very, very important thing for America, especially, as I've been saying, especially at a time when minorities probably feel they're not welcome. And I think New York is leading the way in showing America that if you talk about issues that matter to Americans, if you talk about issues about inflation and jobs, and the issues that matter to people in their kitchen versus what else is going on in the world, then people will listen to you. And his campaign, wasn't different from what Republicans tried to do last year. He was talking about making sure the food is affordable. He was talking about making sure that people are taken care of. There are no cuts to Medicaid and Medicare and as such. So I think Zohran Mamdani winning this election is a very, very big deal. He has a very big future ahead. Obviously not born in the US, so he can never be the president according to the existing constitution that we have. But I think he will be looked upon as somebody, as a leader in the Democratic Party, as somebody who's been able to pull this victory off, somebody successfully building a narrative that has been lost, some people believe, by the Democratic leaders in the last year or so, and eventually putting himself on a clash with President Donald Trump, who has said on the record multiple times that if Zohran Mamdani was to win the election, he is not going to fund New York City. So it all, we all witness whatever happens from now on. But tonight, I think Mamdani, what he's done is incredible by any political pundit's imagination. A young 34-year-old winning this election in New York City is just phenomenal.
All right, Rohit, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. And